Welcome to another Saturday. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for showing up again and being present here in this space. We are Light and Soul Yoga. Again, this is my husband, Arnaldo. That's our little one, Lily, over there. And I am Melissa. We have a small little one over there. Des is walking in. But yeah, today it's a little bit more dense, right? It's last week we were here, it was a little bit cooler. This week the air is a little bit more dense. It feels a little bit thicker and warmer today. So please take it easy, drink water. We have water if you need to hydrate too, if you finish your water. However, there are no open bathrooms here. So I'm just gonna put that out there. If you drink too much, you might have to find a spot in the woods. Just saying, I want to make sure that that's clear and out there. Unfortunately, they lock the bathrooms, but this is an hour class and hopefully we can make it through. So thank you again so much for showing up. And so we'll settle for a few moments. You might take a deeper breath in right here, kind of sip in the air, feel what you feel as you breathe in, and then maybe a fuller exhale, complete and empty. And if that works for you to help ground you, you might do it again, like a deep breath in here, right here, through the nose, fill up belly, breathe through the lungs, and then empty out. And that might lead to one more full breath, right like that. And this space, this being outside space, again, sort of allows us to tap into all different senses differently than we were if we were at home practicing or in our studio practicing. And so there's going to be bugs, and I say this all the time, there's going to be leaves and grass and imbalance and air and energy. And you can allow all of that to affect your practice. That's okay. And if something is challenging to you, notice it, observe it. You probably wouldn't try to change it too much unless you want to flick the bug off your mat. You can do that. But allow it all to enter your experience. Allow it all to enter your experience. And this then is your practice for when you leave the mat. You know, all the things that you cannot change because they're happening all around you. Well, how do you let it affect your experience? And you respond rather than react. And so you'll gather your hands and you can leave them right down on your lap if that feels comfortable for you. If there's a mudra or a hand gesture that you like to take before you start practice, it could be hands at heart center. It could be hands rested on the center of the chest. But anything that allows you to bring an intention directly into your heart. So your intention, your purpose, your dedication for your practice for today. And if nothing comes to mind, that's okay too. You might stay focused on your breath. So I like to start with the sound of Om. If that means something to you, then join. If you'd rather listen or hum along, you have that choice. Sound is the connector of all beings. It links us together. And so we'll join together on the next inhale. Deep breath. And you allow that vibration, that sound, that energy to affect your senses and your experience as well. And then if your eyes were closed, you'll gently blink your eyes open to the space. You'll sort of move your body around if you need. If you've been in your seat and you need to move your legs a bit, you can do that. And then if you were sitting on a block, I'd recommend coming off the block for just this first little moments here and step your feet out in front of you. Step your feet out in front of you and perhaps just a little bit wider. Touch the fingertips back behind you and let the knees bend. Let the knees bend so your feet can come towards the ground. Yeah, and you'll sit yourself up. So the knees are bent, the spine is upright. And then you'll start to windshield wiper your knees a bit side to side. So you'll like tic tac side to side. Yeah. And you might need to bring your legs wider in order for that to feel more comfortable. And you could certainly pick your hips up and then kind of move through one side and the other side. You can certainly pick your hips up to do that. Yeah. And then you'll pause when you get to one side, doesn't matter which side. And then you'll sit yourself upright and continue to twist in that direction, right? So if the knees have sort of dropped down, you'll sit up and twist in that direction. And you're almost in like a stag position here. And you'll breathe. It doesn't matter which side because we have two sides, so you'll do both. And then you'll bring yourself back upright and return your feet to neutral. So they're out in front of you. And then keep going. So again, we're going to tick tock a bit side to side. So today, the physical focus or physical intention of this practice is to get a little bit into the hips. So you feel this sort of movement here, and then drop your knees to the other side, whatever side you didn't do the first time. Pick yourself up and do a little turn over that front leg. Yeah, and so your legs are in this sort of stag position here, and you can come down as low as you'd like. You can certainly bring your whole body down to the ground or stay more upright. And your body is your choice here with your legs. If you need to go a little wider in your stance or a little bit more narrow, then you do that. Then you do that. You'll take another breath in this shape. And then you'll sit yourself up. So be very gentle, push into the hands, come on up, come back to neutral where your legs are sort of out in front of you again. You got it. You got it. And then right from here, make sure you have space behind you. You're going to roll back. So you're going to go down onto your back. So you'll make sure that there's space behind you and maybe hold on to your body or bring your arms or hands down to the floor to bring you down onto your back. You got it. And when you arrive, you can draw the knees into the chest and give them a hug. So you can touch your knees, your shin bones, your thighs. You might roll around a little bit here. Yeah. And then you might even take your hands on each of your kneecaps and take some circles. And so go wide in the knees. Yeah. So right knee goes to the right, left knee goes to the left, and then you draw them in. And so you're making two big circles. That's it. That's it. Two big circles. And then you might go the other way, like if that feels good. Maybe try the other way. Yeah, so there's some movement here with the leg in its home. And then pause. Oh, and then again, sorry, that was weird. And then again, put your feet to the floor. So feet to the floor, the knees are bent. You got it. Stay as you are. Draw your right knee into your belly and chest. So just the right knee. Your left leg stays as it is. And then point and flex. So give a little movement in your ankle. And you can even like shake it out a bit or roll it around, flare through the toes. Good. And then use your right hand to draw your right knee just a little bit wider. So it's going to go wide to the right. So maybe up towards your armpit. Yeah. Yeah, you could certainly make circles here if you'd like. And then you'll bring it back to neutral. So it's more in the center. And now let's take that ankle. Your right ankle will cross over your left knee. So you're in a figure 4 shape. So imagine if you were sitting in a chair and you're crossing ankle over knee, figure 4. You got it. You got it. And your foot will be active. You'll flex it. So the sole of your foot sort of presses away towards the fields over there. Great. And now you have an option if you want to pick up your opposite leg, so your left leg, pick it up and maybe reach between the little triangle that you made between your legs and grab for the back of the thigh. You got it. You got it. Yeah. And if you'd like, you can certainly straighten and bend your left leg. That might get a little bit into the back of the leg, so be mindful there. Yeah, and your head and shoulders can stay down. You're doing great. You got it. hmm Great. And so now let's keep the ankle crossed. Let your left leg straighten up to the sky. So as you were, and then let go of the legs. So keep the legs as they are, let them go. Bring the arms either down by your side or out to the side. Keep head and shoulders down. Keep your navel, your belly button pressed down towards the ground, your low back down. And you'll start to lower your legs very slowly down out in front of you. So the whole shape of the legs lowers down. And you'll start to feel this maybe in your core, a little bit of core engagement here as the heels kick away. Draw the belly down, and then you'll pause and hover. But if your low back has lifted off of the ground, you might come back to where you were and lift up just a bit. You have another breath right here, and then exhale, lower the legs to the ground. Keep the right knee drawn in. Right knee will draw into the chest, and now we'll take a twist. So the right knee draws in, you hug it, and then use your left hand to twist it across the body. You're going to twist, twist, twist here. You got it. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll twist right leg over to the left, right leg over to the left. How are we doing, friends online? Giving a wave to friends online. Let's breathe and come back to neutral. So come back to center and then bend your knees, put both feet on the ground, both feet on the ground. Okay. Draw your arms down by your side. Push into your head, your shoulders, your feet. Breathe here and lift your hips for a gentle bridge, meaning the low back will start to lift, your hips will start to lift, the mid back may even start to lift a bit. But see if you can keep your face soft and your gaze is steady. Like, look, you'll look directly up at this beautiful sky today. So your cervical spine doesn't get all twisted around here. You'll look up, breathe here, push into your feet, another breath. Feel the belly rise and fall. And then slowly lower the hips down. Breathe and breathe. And so this whole little sequence will happen on the second side or your left side. Draw your left knee in, grab for what you can, your shin or your ankle, not your ankle. Well, you can touch your ankle, yeah, or the back of your leg. That could be your thigh there, yeah. Maybe point and flex through the foot here, flare through the toes a bit. You got it. Maybe shake out that ankle. And then you might take your left hand here to just widen the knee a bit. So the knee sort of opens just a bit towards your left armpit or towards the left side of your chest. And then draw it back to neutral. And here, cross your ankle over your opposite knee. So your left ankle will cross over your right knee. We're back in our figure 4. And you can stay here and gently urge your left thigh away from your body with your left hand. Or go ahead and pick up your right leg, reach between your legs and grab for the back of the leg or the shin bone. You got it. And so same as the first side, but notice the differences, right? The sequence is the same, but the experience will be different on this side. And so be gentle with yourself and your body. You might bend and straighten your opposite leg. Yeah, flare through the toes a bit. See what you feel here. Notice if your hips have lifted or if they are grounded. Either way, but it's a deliberate choice. Yeah. And then you'll keep the shape of the legs, right? So your ankle is crossed. And then if it's available to you, start to move your left leg towards straight and it will reach up towards the sky. Let go of the legs, the arms come down by your side. Here it is, that little bit of core engagement, navel down. You'll start to lower the shape of the legs. So the figure 4 cross of the legs starts to lower down, 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 and then hover. The heel kicks away. Yeah, no, yep, the whole shape of the legs lowers down. Yeah, so you're in a figure four with a little bit of a lower. You got it. And now you'll hold. Feel a little bit of engagement in your core. Notice if your low back has lifted, you might need to lift the legs a bit. Give yourself an extra breath and then lower everything down. Whew. Okay. Draw your left knee in again. So the one that's bent, draw it in, breathe here. Let's take the twist. So now use your right hand to draw it over to the other side. You should be in the opposite direction of your twist. If not, make a different choice. And if this one knee twist, this one legged twist doesn't work for you, choose another way to twist. You can kind of use both legs or straighten the legs. You got it. So here, particularly feeling, bless you, here, particularly feeling energy on the outer hip. We'll draw the legs back to neutral. So come back to your center. You might have to reorganize your hips and your shoulders and place your feet to the ground. We'll set up for another bridge. And the feet are about sitting bone distance apart. Toes face the front of your mat. Push down into your head, your outer shoulders, the feet, and then lift your hips. Now, if you're feeling comfortable in your shoulders and you want to wriggle, if you want to wriggle them underneath you, you can interlace your fingers here. It's not necessary though. If that's not where you want to be, it's not necessary. See if you can use this bridge to open front body. So you're breathing, you feel your belly rise and fall. You even press the head back, even lift and open the chin and the throat a little bit here. If at any point you need to come down, you come down. Otherwise, invite in 2 more breaths in this bridge. This fella's in the sun. You might want to slide up. It's gonna be a hot one. Slowly lower down. You'll unlace your hands and bring your hips to the ground. Whew. Okay. And now the arms can kind of lay out wider like a cactus, but if you don't want to be on the grass, then keep your arms down by your side. I understand the grass is still wet. Walk your feet out slightly wider apart, so they'll wiggle out just a little bit wider. And then, keep the knees bent though. The feet are on the ground. And then just as we tick-tock the knees side to side earlier, you'll do that again. So the windshield wiper the knees just a bit side to side, side to side. You got it. Just another moment. And then you'll still your movement slowly, draw the knees into center and then into your body. And then you'll start to roll around a bit and you'll make a choice here on how you want to come on up. You can roll yourself forward and back to come up to sit, or you can push yourself over to one side, push into the ground and come on up. And then we'll directly swing the legs back behind us to come into a tabletop. And so take your time to arrange yourself on your mat. Again, you're going to have to sort of reorient your hands, your knees. You're on some puffy grass if you're here joining us outside, and there will certainly now be bugs crawling in your midst. And so as you arrive and you orient to your mat, you'll spread your fingers well. And here we'll take some pelvic tilts to bring us into cat and cow. And so the sitting bones lift a bit, you drop the belly, you might look up here for your cow belly. And then reverse that shape, push the floor away, draw the chin in for your cat spine, and then you keep going. And so moving in this way from your tail through to your head. And I say this often, but if your wrists are feeling a little funky or you need a little bit of extra support, you can make another choice, which could look like fists to the mat or fingertips to the mat. Sometimes you'll see me on fingertips. Blocks can also help that. It's another way to hold on to something if you have 2 blocks. Another round here. And then we'll start to get our hips involved. And so you might go a little wider in your legs and then bring your lower body into some circles. So you might need to reorganize your stance here. So your hands might need to walk slightly forward as the hips slide back and then around to one side and then forward a bit and then around to the other side. You got it. And then, that circle could also happen the other way. And so you might take yourself in another way. Yeah. Beautiful. And then this will lead us into a child's pose. Beautiful. This will lead us into a child's pose, meaning the hips will sink back and you can lay your whole body right down onto the mat, or you might stay a little bit more upright. And that's completely up to you and what feels comfortable for you. Can I bring you forward? You sure? It's okay. So you're here, another breath in child's, and then we'll return to all fours, your tabletop. You got it. And then let's touch right toes. Your right toes will touch back behind you. So pick up your foot, touch it back. Lift the leg up. Bend the knee so the foot pokes to the sky. And then take the knee wide to the right. You got it. See if you can slide your knee up towards your right arm, towards the outer edge of the right arm. And then kick it slightly back. Whew. And then you'll do that again. So slide slightly forward, your knee towards your right arm. That might be the right tricep or the right shoulder, and then just moves back a bit. Now on this next one, we'll step it forward. And so you'll bring your knee up, grab your foot, and step it to the front of your mat. Yeah. And you might be wide here, and that's good. So my hands are on the inside of my foot. You'll turn your right knee and thigh out just a bit. Turn your body towards your bent knee. Place your right hand on the top of your right thigh. So you're slightly lifted. Now, if you have blocks, you can use a block underneath your left hand. That will give you a little bit of support there. Really nice. Yeah, good choices. Yeah, so a block under left hand gives you a little bit of lift here. And now if you're feeling caught up in the shoulder and you want to throw your right arm up to the sky to open this twist, well, you can. You can. Or you could stay grounded, hand on thigh. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. And then we slowly on the breath come out of this turn. So look down, return the right hand down if it was up. And then you'll lift your hips, face your right toe slightly forward and send your hips back a bit. And so now you'll work your right leg a bit towards straight and feel what you feel here on the back of the right leg. Yeah. So we'll call this a runner's lunge. It could be a half split. Sometimes we call this a half split. Great, and then you'll slide forward a bit with your body, bend the knee. Now, this transition's a little funky. We'll take our right knee back to all fours. And so you might have to step it wide to bring it back, and then right knee comes down. Great. And then a few moments to rock the hips around. If child's pose is where you want to be, cool, hang out in child's pose. You might take some cat-cow. That might feel good. Yeah. Nice. And so we'll play again with the second side. You'll return to all fours and step your left toes. So your opposite toes will go back. Pick up your left leg, bend the knee so the toes poke up, and then turn your left knee out wide to the left. So it's the most attractive shape right here. And then slide your knee up towards your left shoulder or tricep, and then slide it back just a bit. Keep that rotation of the leg. So you'll move slightly forward. It pulls up towards the elbow, and then you slide it back. Yeah, exactly. And on this last one, it's a step forward. So you can draw the knee up, maybe grab the foot and step it to the front of the mat. Yeah, you got it. And then the leg turns out a bit. So your left thigh, your knee, your toes turn out just a bit. Your right hand stays on the ground. Turn your body towards your bent knee and take your twist here. And then, you can keep your hand on your thigh and open up a bit, or you can reach your left arm up. You have an option there. Really nice. Another breath here. Stay grounded in your front foot, wherever you sort of landed with your front foot. And then very slowly, if your arm was lifted, you'll bring your arm down. And then as the hips shift back, your front toes turn slightly forward. So the leg comes to neutral. You got it. Send your hips back. And again, blocks here under your hands can support this shape. You're working here in this runner's lunge, or you got it. Half split. You can feel it here where you feel it. Feel it where you feel it. Your breath and exhale might take you down a little lower if that's where you want to be. And then let's slide the body forward, bend your knee so we can bring the knee back. So the knee comes back to meet your right. And then here, we'll all take a child's pose with extended arms. So I really want you to reach forward, 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 and stay really active. So you're pushing firm into the palms. The upper arm bones lift, the forearm bones lift, and there's energy and activity here. This shape, so you're reaching, reaching, reaching. Your head is down and neutral with your neck here. This shape, this extended version of a child's pose, will eventually lead into our first down dog. And so keep your hands steady and grounded. You'll pick up your torso a bit, pick up your hips, tuck your toes under, and let's get to our first downward facing dog. So the arms stay just as long and extended as you press the hips up and back. Yeah, downward facing dog. You might shake out the head a bit or wiggle your hips a bit or bend one knee at a time. If it's available, you might let your head hang. You might let your head go a bit. Just sort of roll it around there. If it feels more comfortable to look forward, then do that. Great, and let's roll forward to a plank pose. So that would look like the top of the push-up. The arms would be straight. Your legs would kick back behind you. But please know that you always have support. You can bring a knee down. You can always bring a knee down. And you'll stay here for 2 breaths. See if you can really push the floor away. There's a little bit of doming in the upper back. Yeah, the arm bones hug in, the legs hug in, and any tension that you feel is because you're creating it. There's energy here. But if there's tension in your face or your jaw, soften that. Let that go on a breath. Inhale here. Let's touch the knees to the ground and lower your whole body onto your mat. And so you bend the elbows back and you bring yourself down. And then you lift up a bit. And so you can come into a cobra. Another option would be a more supported version of a cobra with your elbows and forearms down. So I'm going to give you a few options for this little back bend. Elbows, forearms down would be a more supported version. You can put palms to the earth and pick up a bit. If you have a little bit of an up dog, you want to play there, you can. Another breath. And then let's sit the hips back. You'll go child's pose, arms extended. Either stay in child's or take your down dog. Either stay in child's or take your down dog. So your choice. Down dog is that inverted V shape. Child's pose would be knees down. So you can make a choice there. Beautiful. Yeah, really nice. They're not. Okay. Let's bring our feet to our hands to our feet, meaning you'll sort of end up in a fold in your body. So if you'd rather walk your feet forward, do that. If you want to meet somewhere in the middle, maybe the hands walk slightly back, then you do that. Or we'll arrive here in a forward bend with your body over your legs. And here, our first forward fold of the morning, you might step your feet slightly wider apart. You might even touch your hands down on blocks. You might bring your hands to your elbows or rock your shins a bit. And then very slowly let go of your elbows. You'll gently rise up to stand. And so you'll roll up here, nice and gentle and slow. And then you'll arrive, shake it out as you get there, and we'll come into our mountain pose. So if you've noticed your feet are wide and you want to narrow them, we'll do that. Step closer in. If you need a little bit of space, then do that. Your toes will face forward. The arms lay down by your side. And if you need a little moment to get your shoulders or your neck involved, to do that. Got it. Okay, so we'll essentially sort of take that little same sequence, but we'll be stepping back and we'll give some options here. So right from here, let's inhale and reach up. And here you can bring the arms in a wide V if that feels comfortable on your neck. If you want to bring the hands closer together, that's your choice. Good, a big old breath in. And then as you exhale, lower down your body. The arms lower, the whole body folds to take your forward bend. Let your head drop. As you breathe in, you'll look slightly forward here. You might take fingertips to blocks or shin bones as you lift your gaze a bit, and then fold down as you exhale. Here, bend into your knees soften. Now I'll use blocks to support my transition. You might choose that or you might not. You'll step your left foot back. So look at your left foot, step it back behind you. And then you'll heel toe your right foot wide. So I just went a little wider in my right foot. Let's lower the left knee down. It's the same shape we were in before. Turn your right toes out a bit, turn your body to the right, push your right hand on your right thigh, and you'll open up here. So same, we just did this. We just stepped back this time. Okay, now this time, you might tuck your back toes under so you can work your left leg towards straight and pick the knee up off the ground. Now I'm on a block for support. It gives me a little bit of lift. You can choose that or keep your hand on the ground. And then you have an option to, throw the right arm up. The other way, that's it. So your block's underneath your left hand. Yeah, so great. And then let's lower the hand down if you had it lifted. From here, again, we'll shift the hips slightly back. This time the back knee is lifted and you're in this, what we'll call a pyramid pose. All 10 toes will face towards the front of the mat. The front leg works towards straight, doesn't need to push to straighten all the way, mind your hamstrings. And your blocks, good thing about them, they are on different levels. So right now I'm on a high level to support this shape. If you feel like you want to go lower, well, then you make that choice on your breath with control to go lower. Nice, you got it. And then slowly look forward. You can use blocks for this transition. We'll step forward. So you push off your back foot. You might walk the blocks out in front of you to bring your back foot in and you fold. We're back in a forward fold. If your legs have really widened, you might narrow them closer together. Rise up to stand. Push into the feet. Lift the torso. If you want to swing the arms out and wide, stay there. You might touch them right over your head. Then let's gather all that energy right into the heart. Okay, notice what you're feeling. Yeah, right into your heart. Second side, inhale, let's lift the arms. You can look up here if that works on your neck. And then let's soften. So the body lowers down on an exhale to fold you over your legs. Look slightly forward on a breath in. Fingertips can shift to blocks or shin bones or stay on the ground. And then you fold again, exhale. Let the knees soften. So bend into your knees a bit. Look at your right foot. There it is. And then step it back. So now we're on the other side. And then as you wiggle your left foot slightly wider, you'll bring your left knee down to start. Goes down to start. Sorry, your right knee down. And then the left knee and toes turn out. Turn your body to the left and take your turn here. Now you can stay. Remember, so we're, playing in the same shape, or we kind of amped it up a bit in the back leg. You can tuck your back toes under, and pick up your back knee. Now, again, hand on floor or block as you turn your body. And you might feel different on this side, so you might make a choice to keep your knee down if you need extra support. You got it. Can you feel firmly down into your left heel? Don't lose that connection there. Another breath. And then you'll lower your left arm so it comes to floor or block. And then the hips shift back as the front leg works towards straight. And then all 10 toes will sort of move to face the front of the mat. And you can do this on your knee because that's how we did it on the first round. Or you can stay with your knees lifted, your feet on the ground. Remember, our blocks move. They can go high, medium, low. And so it's, pyramid pose. Beautiful. Good choice. Really good choices. This leg will feel different because we are weirdly asymmetrical. Follow the breath here. You'll look forward, bend your front knee, and let's step forward. Remember that transition? You might use blocks to follow that foot up and then fold. Great. Push into your legs. Let's rise up to stand one more time like this. Rise up to stand. Clap the prayer over your head if that's where you're connecting, and then slide the prayer to your heart. All right, pause for a moment, shake it out, and then gather this beautiful view out in front of you, this trees and the really blue sky, and then set your gaze on something. We'll find a little bit of a balance, some balances now before we continue and move on with some standing poses. And so shift your weight to your left foot. And now, I always kind of like a little safety net. You might start with your right toes on your block, or you might directly lift your right foot up. Right, so if you're like, well, I'm feeling a little bit unsteady, you can always use a block. I don't know if I'd use it on the highest level, it might fall. We're on grass, we're not on a floor. Okay. And now if you have it all the way lifted, either way, you'll take your hands now and grab underneath your thigh. You got it. And the arms will work towards straight. That's why you can kind of use a block here, because I want your thigh bone sort of in this parallel shape. Yeah, you can always touch foot on a block. You got it. You got it. And then if you're here and you're feeling okay with your balance, let your arms go. Let your arms go. You got it. Okay, your foot is active. And then imagine if you were going to kick a soccer ball or a hacky sack, let's say, not forward, but I want you to kick it to the left. So your knee is going to stay in line with your hip. You'll take your inner heel and kick it to the left. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. And then your hold. We're finding this balance here. So we just did this external rotation. Almost looks like a figure 4. I know. Another breath in. I know. Let's come back to neutral and then step down. Whew. Brandon, let's take that out. Did you get that? It was like kick, little kick, like a boop. No, listen, I don't play sports, so nothing with balls. I don't understand. We just dance over here. There's just dancing. Okay. Second side. Here we go. Shift the weight into your opposite leg. Most likely your right. And then bring the left knee up to you. Now, again, you could bring support. It's helpful. The ground is wobbly. It's not you, it's the ground. Blame the ground. Pick your spot. And then you'll grab your leg with your hands, interlace them under the leg, and the arms work towards straight. So your knee is sort of in line with your hip here. And then flex your ankle. So there's like you're stepping on something. And then like you're kicking to the right with your inner left heel, a little soccer ball. Kick and hold. It's this external rotation, this drop right here. And you might let go of the arms and kind of hold this for a moment. And it's not a big movement. It's really not, which is weird because we just saw this movement earlier. But notice the shape. Another breath. You got it. Return the leg to neutral and step down. Whew. And then notice if you were like grinding your teeth a bit on that balance. Yeah. So the next time you can, swallow to soften between the eyebrows, around the temple skins. And then let's move a bit. So let's come to front of mat. And so remember that's going to come, that kick is going to come back. Inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, forward fold all the way to the ground. Look forward on a breath in. Exhale and take it down. Let's bring the hands towards the ground, and you'll either step into plank pose or all fours. So I want to give you the option. If you want to go to all fours first and then to your plank, make that choice, but we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And if you don't want to meet in down dog, well, you can stay in all fours. That's a great choice. Press the hips back. Feel here stable and steady in both hands, both feet. Nice. Roll forward to plank pose. Lower your knees to the ground. Cat-cow. Moo. And meow. A few rounds here, cat-cow. You got it. Let's touch the right toes back. So they go back and then the foot lifts. As you exhale, draw the knee in. Let's step your right foot up and forward to the front of your mat. You'll tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee. Let's come into warrior 2 here. So your back heel drops, push into your foot, lift your chest and open the arms. And so you're here, your chest faces the fields and your arms reach wide. You got it. Yeah, warrior 2. And now feel into this leg. So the toes face forward, the knee faces forward, but your outer right hip drops down, down, down. Warrior 2 here in the legs. Beautiful. Flip your right palm up and you'll reach the right peace fingers up to the sky as you lean back, back, back. Stay here in your legs, but lift your torso and now bring your right forearm to land on the top of your right thigh. Left arm can reach straight up directly to the sky, or you might take it over your head and reach towards sort of the front edge of your mat. Yeah, you're now in an extended angle. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Come back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg and clap your hands high over your head. Yeah, big old breath in. Nice. Keep your front leg straight as you open the arms wide like a T. Again, reach towards the front of your mat and then tip down for triangle. And so here, right fingertips can touch the shin bone, but you might also find your block and touch fingers to block. You can go as low or as high as you'd like on your leg here. Gives you the most support. Push into your feet. Ooh, to lift your torso up. Warrior two, bend your front knee. 3 steady breaths. Warrior two. So you'll stay in this shape. Let your gaze settle right over your right middle finger. Knees deeply bent. Press the inner knee wide to the right. 2 more steadying breaths here. You got it. Give yourself another round. And then I want you to look down and deliver your hands to the ground. Come back to a lunge. Bring your left knee down. Return your right knee down to the mat, either child's or downward facing dog. And so friends, here I want to give you options. If a vinyasa is in your practice, like a flow, please take a flow. If you're starting to move into the sun and it's getting a little warm, you can shift. We'll have shade for another 20 minutes, I promise. And so you might have rested and landed in your child's, and that's great. You might stay in dog. It's a more energizing shape. All fours is also a great choice. But essentially, we'll take that whole sequence again. Yeah, obviously, you have the other side. And so, listen, you can certainly do the step up from dog. I'm going to cue it from all fours. So let's all come to all fours tabletop. Right? You make a choice here. Your left toes will touch behind you, and you can lift the left leg up. As you exhale, draw your left knee in. Let's step left foot up towards the front of the mat. And so maybe towards the left thumb. Tuck your back toes under as you pick up your back knee. We'll settle for warrior two. And so your right heel drops now. Push down to lift up your torso. Stay deeply bent through your left knee and take your arms wide. Yeah, so now you're facing the other direction, but your gaze is still forward. Beautiful. Warrior two, second side. Deeply bend in the knee. Deeply bend in the knee and feel down into your heels. Yeah, really good. Flip your left palm up and then your left peace fingers lift to the sky as you lean back, 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 back. But keep charging your knee forward. Go the other way. Left arm up, right arm down. You got it. Yeah, keep charging the knee forward. Gorgeous. And then as you exhale, let's land your left forearm on the top of your left thigh for your extended angle pose. And so you lay the forearm down and the right arm reaches up. And then notice if you laid the forearm down and you kind of sunk the weight into it, maybe lighten the load just a bit. Use your strong legs. So kick back into your right heel, push down into your left heel, feel your legs turn on just a bit. Beautiful, beautiful. You'll give yourself another round of breath in your angle. Yeah. Push down. Let's come back to warrior two. And then you'll straighten your front left leg and now clap the prayer high over your head. So give a little clap overhead. That'll help to wriggle your whole side body really long. And then let the arms open wide to a T. You got it. Wide to a T. You're perfect. Reach towards the left toes and tip down. Here's your Trikonasana or triangle. Left toe. Yeah, you can reach down towards the toes. You can reach towards the shin or use your block. Beautiful. Another breath. Can you use your strong legs to lift you back up? So you'll push down to lift up warrior two. So your left knee rebends and you hold the shape. You might close your eyes if you feel like your eyes are wandering. Or you might steady your gaze. So soften the periphery. Look over your left ring finger. Your jaw is soft. You're holding your strong arms up. You'll invite in another round of breath. And then as you exhale, soften everything to the ground. So deliver your hands down. Come to lunge. Bring the knees down. So one knee touches, the other knee touches. Either dog or child's pose. This could also lead into a vinyasa, right? So that could look like plank to up dog to a supported cobra shape. You got it. You got it. Yeah, really nice. And then we'll all come into a forward fold. So if you're in dog, feet can walk up to your hands, or you can go back towards your feet. Yeah, or take a jump. Beautiful. If you're in all fours, you'll step one foot forward and then the other foot forward and take your fold. Okay. Rise up to stand. Now you can roll up or come up with a flat back. Nice choices. You could certainly lift the arms up, gather all that energy overhead, and then take it right into your heart. And now I promised you we'd play a little bit more soccer or hacky sack. Remember hacky sack? Right? I know. Well, that's what when I was teaching this week, it's like hacky sack. Okay, so that shape is coming back and then it's going to land in a figure four, right? We did all this on our back. So I'd almost suggest the props out in front of you because once you get to balance, you might need to take a little bit of a stand. All right, so same. Shift the weight to your left leg and pick up your right foot. You might rest it for a moment. You might grab underneath the thigh. This is all the same, what we did before, like you're stepping on something. But remember, it's not lifted all the way up. Yeah, it's sort of right outside of your hip, this sort of 90-degree angle. And then flex the ankle and kick the hacky sack. And so the knee stays in line with the hip, and now you're in this external rotation. Yeah, sort of turn out. And then here's the plan. You'll bring your ankle towards the top of your left knee, start to bend it, and there's your figure four. It's a funky chair. And so your sitting bones sit back. You can use your hand to adjust. If you want to directly put your hands on those blocks, well, that will give you a little support. That I can tell you. Not too much, but a little bit more support. If you're feeling okay on this balance, you might take the hands, really whatever direction you'd like. They can come to your prayer. They can reach forward. That would load the body just a little bit towards the head. Okay, and now here's the plan. Your right hand is going to come either to block out in front of you or to floor. Now I'm on a high block. I'm on a really high block. I want you to turn your body over to your left, so that's sort of the direction of your foot, and place your left hand on your low back. That's your sacrum. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe you throw the left arm up to the sky. Now that's like sort of icing up there if you want to kind of move that. Beautiful. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. I know. Are you clenching your jaw? You probably are. Give yourself a full and deep breath and let's come out of this turn nice and slow. Both hands to blocks or right to center. Nice. Lift your chest and lay your foot down. Whew. Beautiful. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Taught that. Yeah, perfect. I know. Yeah, it's always a funky side. All right. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, well, we found a hacky sack kick. So let's try the other side. Again, blocks are there for support. Shift the weight into your right foot and lift the left thigh to you. Left leg comes up. And you might even start on a block. Okay, you might grab the leg just to kind of remind you to keep it sort of neutral out in front of you. And then it's that hacky sack kick or that soccer ball kick in. The heel comes in, but the leg goes externally. Yeah, you might use no arms. And you're right here. And now you might stay here, or you'll start to slide your heel, your ankle, towards the top of your right knee and land your figure four. Now, sometimes I have to actually shift my foot there to grab it and put it there. And then you might come directly down. That's okay. Or you might stay, hands at prayer. Feel your sitting bones work back evenly. Woo, and reach forward. That's always an option, or hands stay at prayer. Now remember, we are moving on from here. So you might choose to stay and work your balance. Your gaze is steady. Or your left hand will come to the block out in front of you, it can come to the floor. So the block kind of works here. Turn your belly, your torso towards your right. So where your foot is hanging out here. And go ahead, place your right hand on your low back. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And then you might take the right hand and reach that to the ceiling, to the sky. We're outside today. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, there you go. Holy cow. Let's slowly come out of this. Whew, lift the chest and then step down. Step the foot down. Notice what you feel on the opposite leg, because that's probably where you're feeling it. Even though we're working that external rotation, it's the stabilizing leg that's feeling it. Kick it out, shake it out, dance it out. Here we go. That was it. That was extravaganza. Let's bring it down. Inhale, reach up. Ooh, feel that breeze. Take it in and then slowly lower your body to a forward fold. Beautiful. Breathe in, look slightly forward here. You might take fingers to blocks. Exhale and fold. Put your hands onto the sticky mat so you can step back either to all fours or to your plank pose. And then I'll give you this option to lower down. You can lower down chaturanga if you know that. Otherwise, you might come down with the knees, lower down halfway, and then lift the belly, the chest. You're in a sort of a modified up dog. You can also come directly to your cobra. You have it. And then back to your dog. Exhale. And if dog is not where you want to be, then child's is a great choice. So is all fours. So is sitting down on the mat. Whew. Again, slowly roll forward to your plank pose. One final energizing shape here. And then touch your knees down. Sit your hips back and sit up. Sit up. So you'll put your hips now to the ground and swing the legs out in front of you. Yeah. Remember, you can move. You need shade. Carol, just if you want to slide back, you don't have to, but like you could get up and slide your whole mat if you want, because we still have some pockets of shade back there. I just don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, because we will come down in a moment. All right. How we doing? Gorgeous. Step your feet out in front of you. Remember, we did this right in the beginning. Go side to side, side to side. Yeah. Listen, your hips might lift, right? Your opposite butt might lift, and that's okay. You stay grounded. Your choice. Yeah. Okay, pause there. Sit yourself up and extend your legs out now. Maybe give them a shake. Okay, so we're going to have a few options here. You'll bend one knee. Take your right knee. That's fine. You can take your right knee, bend it in. The first option is to open it. It looks like a seated tree. Yeah. And I always say you can, proper block. That's a really nice choice. Because that's one option. Eventually we will fold. And I will say this, you have another option. Could look like half lotus. That's one option. Another option could be like a half virasana. And I'm giving you these options. This is intense on the knee. So I'm just saying that now. Either way, we're folding. Okay. So you might be in option one. Woo, seated tree with a fold. You could be in a half lotus with a fold. Half virasana could look like a fold. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, nice choice. So you're in a seated tree. Perfect. Perfect. Sort of any variation of this little situation. Really nice. And then very slowly, let's sit the body up. So the hips ground and you pick up your torso. Now, if you were in half virasana, very slowly, you sit to one side, swing it out. Okay, so now the legs are out. Neutral, you might shake them out a bit, soften the knees. And then we go on the second side. Now, your choice might be the same, but it might not be, right? You might have had surgery on your knee and it doesn't work to do a half virasana. And so you either take it out to the side, that's your first option, a little seated tree, or this little a little situation half lotus, or your half virasana. You make your choice, your hips stay grounded, and then you fold forward. Yeah, so it's a Personal choice. Really good. Yeah. Your exhale, sigh out, and you soften. You might deepen the shape or lower the body. And then on a breath, you slowly lift back up. And so push into the hips, pick up your torso, and you come out. You come out to neutralize the legs, shift to the side, swing it out. We'll take one final fold with our legs doing the same thing. So your option could be this sort of bound angle or butterfly shape, could be more narrow, close to your hips, or a little bit wider. You might even take a block and sort of fold down and rest your head on a block. If you would rather a shape that's extended, your legs can extend out. And then you're in like a extended leg version of this shape. That will feel different. But you'll pick a shape where your legs are going to do the same thing. Yeah, really nice. And then it's a slow lift up on a breath. You might move from your tail to your head, meaning the lower back, up through the mid back, lifting to the crown. Let's get the legs out in front of us and make sure there's space behind you because now you're going to roll down. Yeah, come onto your back. Again, there's still some pockets of shade. If you need to get up and move, you can. Go ahead and lie on your back. You can get up and move. This is your like final rest. And once you're here, well, you can directly rest, or you might tug the knees in for a moment, shift your hips a bit. Maybe, yeah, that was a good choice. Maybe take a happy baby. Yeah, that's a good choice too. You might straddle the legs a bit. You know, a bridge pose might feel good here too, or supported bridge. We did bridge early in the beginning of the practice. So you're moving around just a little bit to sort of settle your body. And then once you've moved in a way that helps to settle your body, you might find stillness here. And this is our final shape. And so we'll call it Shavasana or final rest. You could be on your back, but it doesn't have to be. It could be on your side, it could be on your belly. You can also sit up. Yeah, you can choose any shape that to soften and ease down your body. And give yourself a deeper breath in right here. And a full exhale out. You might touch one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Breathe into this connection, this feeling experience right here. And then allow your breath to shift to your body, your physical body. You can move through your toes, you can stretch your arms. You might take a full stretch here, arms overhead, toes point away. And then bend your knees, place your feet to the ground. Maybe shift over to one side. You can also directly sit up. And on your next moments of breath, you'll push into the earth and bring yourself back to an upright seat. So you might use a prop if you need something to sit on. You can crisscross your legs or extend them out wide in front of you in any way that supports an upright and alert spine. You might choose to close down your eyes or take your gaze downward. And then your hands can come on in and connect somewhere at your heart center, either in prayer or with palms to the chest. Just bringing it all together. So as we started, you'll hear one sound of Om. You can join if you'd like. You can listen and feel into that vibration. Together we start on an inhale. My friends, the divine light in me bows to and honors the divine light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Friends at home, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you can still hear